Hello, everybody, and welcome. I hope everybody's having a good day. It's a beautiful day here in Jacksonville, Florida. Today is January 29th, no, January 30th, sorry. And the other day I made a pair of earrings, and I ended up with a cane that looks like this. And I have some scraps that I'm going to use to make a Natasha. And I don't know who came up with this, but it must have been someone named Natasha. So just real quick, this was a rectangle of scrap clay that I mixed together. I'm going to show you how to do that. And I sliced it down the middle, and then when you open it up, this is what you get. The sides mirror each other. It's the same on this side as this side. So it's pretty cool. And you can switch it around. You could do it like that. I like it better like this. But anyway, I love these colors. So I decided to make more. So I'm going to show you how it goes. First of all, you can get ends of canes. You can get, of course, these, I call them scrap pieces. They're not really scrap pieces. I could use them, for projects, but since I like the colors together so much, I'm going to pretend like they're scraps and use them to make a Natasha. So you start out and you want to just chop them up and make sure you try to get uniform sizes. I'm kind of just spreading them out. You do that with each color or each end piece. Just try to get uniform size chunks. It just distributes the colors better when they're uniform. You don't have to make them uniform, and you don't have to be real careful, but just do the best you can. And you want to just kind of scatter them so you don't have a bunch of one color sitting right next to each other. Want to just kind of spread them out, the colors out evenly. I kind of wish I had more of this color right here, but it is what it is. So let me spread these out. And then I'm going to squeeze them all together, smush everything together. And I'm kind of trying to make a log shape, a roll. This clay is a little cold right now. It will warm up really fast. And you have to get it really smushed together good. So squeeze and roll and squeeze and roll. And then when you get it to where it feels like it's not going to come apart, you take it and you want to twist. This will help mix the colors better. And you won't have a bunch of just chunks. And so I'm just twisting. The clay's still pretty hard right now. Just twisting, 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 squeezing and twisting. I'm going to roll this out a little more. It's starting to come apart, but that's okay. In the end, it will all be cohesive. Okay. Now I could stop there, but I'm going to fold this. I'm just checking out the color distribution right now. Looks pretty good, except this end doesn't look as good as the other end. I'm going to twist it a little bit more. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half. And this whole process is just, you're trying to get the colors to mix well. And you want it to stay together without air bubbles. So squeezing and rolling and squeezing and rolling. And you can see where it's separated right there. Of course, I want that to go together. This clay's starting to get softer. Isn't that pretty? So and you don't want to overmix it, because if you overmix it, you'll get something you can't use. I'm going to grab some, I have some acrylic squares right here that I'm going to, where's my big one? Let's see. Here's a bigger one. I want the, I don't want this Sharpie marker to rub off on it. I want the edges to be nice and sharp. By sharp, I mean I don't want them rounded, because that makes it harder to slice and put together once you open the slices up. If you start out with corners that are square and not rounded, you end up with a lot easier piece to work with. I'm just pushing down, trying to shorten this a little bit. It's a little bit long and thin. I'm trying to thicken it, get it a little thicker so I can take a few slices off instead of just one or two. I don't know how well that's going to work, but we'll see what happens. I think these colors are so pretty. Beautiful, beautiful. These are metallic colors. Sculpey, was it Primo? Sculpey Primo metallic colors that I used. A peacock pearl, a white pearl, a purple pearl, and bright green pearl. They call them pearl. They're metallics. Okay, now I have it in a rectangle. It looks pretty good. The The corners are pretty square. I mean, they could be better, but this will work. Now, the clay is way too soft to try to slice into right now. So I'm going to go stick this in the freezer for about probably 10 minutes and harden up the clay so when I slice into it, it won't get distorted. If I tried to slice into it right now, the blade would drag the clay with it and I would end up with very distorted pieces that wouldn't be ideal. So I'll be right back. Okay, so it's hardened. I hardened it up in the freezer and I have one of my hairs flying off of it. I'm going to slice into it and see what we have. Okay, the big reveal. Ta-da! Kind of cool, pretty. Now I could do it this way. I kind of like that better. Let me keep on slicing and see if I come up with something I like better. Now this is the problem. Okay, I have the first one, but the second one, I have to decide if I'm going to use it with the first piece of clay or if I'm going to use it with the third slice. The second slice can be used with either the first or the third one. Well, that wasn't great. I might need to mix my clay a little bit more. If I don't come up with something that I like a whole lot, then I will just smush the clay back together and twist it a little bit more so I don't have such big spaces of color. I might have something more like this if I mix the clay better. You can see there's a big difference. But let me keep going. I really can only get one more slice out of this. Let's see. Let me open this up. More of the same. So now see, when you have big blocks of color like this, it's not so good to make a pair of earrings. Usually I make pendants with these Natashas. I'm trying to make a pair of earrings. This one's growing on me. I like this one. I think I'm going to keep that. And I'm going to put this back together like so. Actually, maybe I'll turn it like that. And I'm just going to, let's see. Let me just, there. I'm going to start twisting these two together. Get this clay to mix a little bit better. I have many times I have over twisted and ended up with so much mixing that was over mixed and I couldn't use it because it just looked like a bunch of like colored clay and I didn't have any I had a bunch of like little squiggles, and I didn't have anything that showed like this does. If that made sense. I don't know if that made sense or not. So let me, oh, I cut my, oh, I bet I know what it is. My thumb. Well, or maybe I cut my finger. I don't know. It looks like I have blood on my finger. It still doesn't look quite mixed enough. I'm going to twist it a little bit more. And should I put, maybe I'll fold it over again. And I have gotten it to where after I twisted it, if I didn't fold it over enough or didn't fold it over at all, and I would have the twisty stripes going down, you know, around. And when I would cut into it, it would just be like stripes on both sides. I wouldn't get any kind of picture. See, to me, this is like a picture. Let's see, what does it look like? Looks like a flower vase. If I turn it over, it still looks like, it kind of looks like a woman from the neck down with bloomers on. Or a little bit like a tulip. I don't know, you can, people see all kinds of things in these. I have some that just will blow your mind. They look so much like, I remember one I had that looks like a rabbit, picture of a rabbit, and people see angels a lot. It's the different animals. This clay is kind of soft. I think I'm going to, oh, I should go stick it in the freezer again, or else I'm going to be sorry. I'm tempted to just slice into it, but I know what will happen. So it's better not to rush these things. So I will go put it in the freezer so I can stiffen up the clay and make it easier to slice into without distorting it. Okay, be right back. Okay, so let me try this again. Ooh, I like that. That's much better. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I'm going to turn it over just because it helps keep my slices straighter, if that makes any sense at all. I don't always turn it, but now this is the part where I have to decide. I don't like that as much as I like this one. Let's see. I have to remember how it goes back together. I think this is so pretty. Let me try it like this. Oh, that's pretty too. It fits together better like this. So I think I'll leave it like that. And let me keep going here. That's pretty too. Ooh, I like that a lot. Let me try it the other way. Oh, that's interesting too. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, I have a little hair hanging on. It happens a lot, especially when you have pets. Pet hair, human hair. I'm only going to be able to, I think, get one more. Okay, I don't like that as much. But this part would make a very interesting earring, wouldn't it? Okay, let me stick to my original design here. Like I said, usually I would turn these into pendants, but I'm trying to make earrings, so they're not going to be exactly the same because this doesn't work like that. So I have this whole tray of cookie cutters, clay cutters, and let me see. I think I don't know which one to use. Either this one or maybe this one. Let's see. Let me play with them a little bit and decide which one I like better. Either one would work. Boy, it really does. Making earrings, you lose so much of the design. So much. I'm wondering if I should make one side like this and one side like that. But that would be defeating the whole purpose of making a Natasha bead, wouldn't it? You know what I could do is I could keep these as pendants, and whatever I cut away, I'll have extra clay, and then I could put the extra through my pasta machine and stamp some earrings out of that clay, and that way I wouldn't have to try to make a Natasha bead into an earring, because I just lose so much of the design that way. I think I will make these independents. Okay, so let me see. Yes, and these will be the same shape as the earrings, so let me show you. And actually I might be able to get two pendants with matching earrings. I'm just trying to line this up and keep the middle line down the middle. Okay, see how much extra I have? I'll mix that with this end piece that we had left. This is so pretty. So pretty. Isn't that pretty? Okay. One down, one to go. Now, do I want to change up the, let me see. I might keep it the same because I get more of the design using the teardrop. Using this one, it cuts so much off of the sides. I don't think I'll use that one. I'm just looking at what else I have in here. Yeah, I think the teardrop is the best. So I'll just make this a teardrop again, another teardrop. It's trying to line it up the best I can. Alrighty. These are beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to take these pieces and I'm going to run them through the pasta machine to flatten them out and see what I get. Do I want to do that or just kind of thinking out loud here? Okay, so I end up with a piece like this, except this isn't. Let me run it through one more time. You don't want to run it through too many times or else it will get so mixed that it will turn gray. You'll have a big hunk of gray scrap clay that you won't be able to do anything with except use it for bead filler. So let me get, I can get 2 earrings out of this. Such pretty colors. Let me look at the other side. That's pretty too, but that's too much of one color, I think. Let me see. I'm going to kind of play with this. That's so narrow. The cracks are showing. I might not have much of a choice here. Let's see. That's a lot of green. Well, let's see. I'm just going to do that real light. Find that right there. Will this fit? It might not. I'm afraid I'm hitting these cracks that are along the side. Let's see. These edges are just a little. I should have run. Let me hold on. Let me run this through. That's what I ended up with. I don't like that too much either. I'm going to try something. Let me. Sure do have a bunch of. I'm thinking I should go ahead and cut this one out because I really like how this looks. So let me cut that one out. There's one. Let me try to run these through some more without getting a bunch of gray clay. Like I said, you have to be careful how many times you run it through, or you're going to end up with something you cannot use at all. Where do I want to put this one? Maybe this way down here. Okay, let me try this. Wow, there should be something I can use. Let's see. I sure do like this down here, but I'm going to make this size, and then I'll make a smaller one also. So I want this one to look kind of like that one. Doesn't have to be exact. Let me see. I think this will work. Let me see. Sometimes you just have to go for it, not think about it too much. Okay, those are nice together. Now let me get the smaller one. I love this down here. So one and two. Is that gonna be wide enough? Barely. Oh no. I don't know if this one's gonna work. I barely had enough. So those are good, huh? And I still have a bunch of clay left. What does the other side look like? I don't like that side. So I should be able to get a couple more out of here. Let's see. Interesting. This is so much fun because you never know what you're going to end up with. Let's see. That has kind of a lot of that one color, doesn't it? That side might be better. I don't know. We'll see. See how this one comes out. Well, interesting. That has a lot of blue at the bottom, and this has a lot of the pink or peach at the bottom. Maybe I can stamp one more, maybe. See what this turns out to be like. Except there's a hole down here. Yeah, I can't use that. Let me bundle this up and run it through the pasta machine and see if I get anything usable. You never know. You just never know. Interesting. Pretty cool. Let's see. I think this might be good. One. Pretty, pretty. 1 and 2. I sure do like that. Such beautiful colors. I can't stop saying that. Cool. And I still have some left, but I'm going to stop there because I will use this to make round beads like this. All these beads, see there's a hole through each one. What I did was I ran a scrap piece like this through the pasta machine on the thinnest setting. So I end up with a real thin sheet of clay, and then I use this. This is the grayish brown clay that you end up with when you mix a bunch of different colors together over and over. And on the inside of those round beads I just showed you is this scrap clay. It's great for bead filler. So sorry for the interruption. Okay, next step. I have some conditioned black clay. I have a stamp. They're not rubber stamps. They're made for clay. I have a whole bunch of these different designs. And I'm going to stamp one side of this is the background clay. I'm spraying it with water. Some people use hold on, I dropped my. Some people use oh gosh, lost my whole train of thought when I dropped that. They dust it with not flour. Oh gosh, I'll think of it in a minute. I use water. I think it's not quite as messy as people thicken their gravy with it in the kitchen. It's like flour, but it's, oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, I use water. That prevents the plate from sticking to the clay. So here's the back. And so this is on parchment paper. I build on parchment paper so it doesn't stick to my glass worktop. Now, I am going to take, let's see, which pair of earrings? I think I'll do that and that. So I'm going to stamp out 2 of these. This is the next size bigger than the one. This is actually this size. So let me go ahead and stamp 2 of these. I'm trying to keep enough space so I can get a background piece for one of my pendants, so I don't have to start over again. Okay. It's always nice to have something on the background. A lot of times it doesn't show up a whole lot, and sometimes the resin, I have stamped the backs of many pendants before, and then if I put the resin on too thick, it totally covers up the design that I stamped, so it was like a wasted step. Now all I'm going to do is try to center these on the black. It doesn't have to be perfect. And this black clay, the less I handle it, the better off I am. For some reason, it is so like flimsy and kind of sticky. It's Sculpey Primo, but it's so soft. I don't understand why. It's not like it's summer. Okay, so those are ready to be cured. And let me show you. Okay, first, let me cut out the background. Now this is the biggest stamp in this shape, so I'm going to have to cut this out with a blade and just do the best I can. It's not always easy, but it is possible, especially this shape. This shape's a little tough. So I'm just going to start by, oh, that's awfully close. This might not work. Let's see. I need to move that over a bit. I cut it too close. So let me, maybe I moved it a little too much. Let's see. I'm not trying to get out of camera range, sorry. I'm just trying to make sure I have enough clay on the sides, because I am going to put a bezel around this, a clay bezel, so I have to have enough room on each side for that to happen. And once again, I cut this too close, so oh dear. There, that will work. Let's see. Trying to cut this shape out with the blade is not the easiest task, I'm not gonna lie. But just do the best you can. Take your time. And it doesn't have to be perfect. That's part of the charm of being handcrafted and handmade, is it's not going to be perfectly even like it came out of a machine, you know. And that's the beauty of a handmade piece, handmade, handcrafted. I really cut that close. I might have really messed that up. Let me see. Trying to okay. If I can move this a little bit, I might be able to salvage it. I just have to make sure the bezel will fit around it. And I think I'm okay. Yay. As long as I don't cut too much off that side. And this looks pretty good. I'm just going around and tapping in any points that I see sticking out. And that looks good to me. Okay, now you can't see the line going down this very much, but you can see it a little. So I'm going to take a piece of my parchment paper and just rub with my finger to try to get that line to disappear. Just rubbing it gently. The heat from my finger helps. And that looks pretty darn good to me. Alrighty. And my bezel. To do the bezel, I have an extruder. I already have black clay in here. So I'm just going to extrude. Hold on. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, okay, there, it's starting to come out. I am going to make a long snake out of this that I can put around the edges of the pendant. And you don't have to do this part. I don't always do it, but most of the time I do. It just gives it more of a finished look, in my opinion. I'm just wrapping it around. And it got stuck on my finger and it stretched it. So that's no good because it got really thin. I am not having much luck with this. Let me get another piece here and try. I don't know why this clay is so soft. It just is really strange. Unless they started making their formula different, that's what it seems like they've done, because I never remember the clay being this soft. It's almost like it gets goopy, too soft. Okay, I'm having better luck this time. And so let me find a blade so I can I need to move these because I keep going out of camera range, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. Okay, let me cut this side first. And get rid of that. And then I want that right up against the other piece. And there we have it. Okay. Now I can see where this side is sticking out a little bit more than the other side. So I just trimmed that up. And that's how it looks with the bezel going around the side. This is how it looks without the bezel. You can see the edge more without the bezel. I could have used a thicker bezel that would have covered the sides all the way. But I didn't. This clay is just so soft, it drives me bonkers. It really does. Because my pieces have been turning out kind of not flat, because the clay is so soft. See how that, like, that never used to happen. I don't understand. I wonder if anybody else is having the same trouble. I am. I need to reach out to someone in the polymer clay world to find out if it's just me or. Okay, so that's ready to cure. I'm going to do all of the earrings and this other pendant like I just did these three and cure them, and then I'll be back to show you how to add the findings and have a pair of earrings and a pendant.